Very good morning to you all. So, today we have Mr. Arun Maira, who is a consultant in the Boston consultancy
and management consultant for many firms. And today we are going to take things like little bit of bites about understanding personal life, career, and everything in our journal with some fun questions as well. So let's get started.
as well as we are talking about his recent book that is shaping the future. So it's going to be a good one indeed. So let's start with it.
So first, I wanted to understand basically like we know introduction from Wikipedia and everything, but we just wanted to understand from your words, from your learning and everything, what will be your introduction, which audience didn't know or which audience want to understand more about you, like a little bit of informal introduction.
आपने ठीक कहा कि आई एम कंसल्टेंट, पर आपने सिर्फ कहा कि वो बॉस्टन कंसल्टिंग ग्रुप वो तो फॉर्मल कंसल्टेंसी है, बट सिंस देन उसके बाद भी हम गवर्नमेंट में प्लानिंग कमीशन में, तो हमारा रोल था प्लानिंग कमीशन का रोल टू बी अ कंसल्टेंट टू द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, प्राइम मिनिस्टर द कंसल्टेंट ऑफ इंडिया कि देश को कैसे बढ़ाएं, देश के नागरिक का भला कैसे हो. So that is consulting also. और उससे पहले I was before Boston Consulting Group in the United States for 10 years with a consulting organization, Innovation Associates or RTD. जहाँ my job was, I was the head of the company, to teach consultants how to be good consultants.
Okay.
To good consultants. उसके पहले मैं थे हमसे 25 साल टाटा ग्रुप में, और हमको बहुत चैलेंजिंग असाइनमेंट्स दी थी उन्होंने. नई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बाहर देश के बाहर टाटा की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मलेशिया में, वो पहले 1970s की बात, और उसके बाद फिर हमारे फॉरेन वेंचर्स जो भी थे और देश के अंदर हमारी पूना फैक्ट्री जो हमने नवी नवी बनाई थी, आई वॉज द चीफ ऑफ द टाइम. तो दैट टाइम ऑल्सो माई रोल आई रियलाइज एज अ लीडर इज नॉट टू टेल पीपल व्हाट टू डू, बट टू एनेबल पीपल टू रियलाइज व्हाट दे नीड टू डू एंड देन लर्न हाउ टू डू इट. तो वो भी कंसल्टिंग है. तो लीडर टू माई माइंड नई चीज़ बनानी है या किसी जो चीज़ जो बहुत पुरानी होगी उसको बदलना है, you have to be a facilitator to the team and other people, a consultant to them, consultant to them. So yes, I am a lifelong consultant. आप कहिए, परंतु ये consultancy की बात लोग समझते हैं कि consultant gives us the solution.
Exactly.
मेरे मन में और मेरी practice में you should not give and cannot give the solution to people who have to implement the solution. Unless they believe that is the right solution and are committed to implement, हो ही नहीं सकेगा. तो ये I'm coming with that to planning commission में जब हम थे, तो I was in the planning commission in the 2009 to 2014. तो planning commission तो 1950 से थी. तो सब देश के हमारे देश के लोग नागरिक कहते, बिजनेस लोग भी कहते थे कि देश काफ़ी बढ़ नहीं रहा है, चाइना इतना बढ़ गया है, और पीपल वर वेरी अनहैप्पी कि लिबरलाइजेशन वगैरह तो हो गई थी 1991 से. अब 15-20 साल के बाद यंग पीपल कह रहे थे हमको नौकरियाँ नहीं मिल रही हैं, हमको स्किल करा रहे हैं, फिर इंडस्ट्री कहती है ये स्किल हमसे मैच नहीं हो रहा है, हमारी इंडस्ट्री बदल रही है. तो इतनी अनसर्टिनिटी में देश को कैसे चलाएं, ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर का सवाल था. और इसी अनसर्टिनिटी में मिस्टर रतन टाटा वगैरह का उनका सवाल था कि हम अपनी कंपनियों को कैसे चलाएं, और यंग पीपल कह रहे हैं हम अपनी जिंदगी को कैसे बनाएं,
जॉब कैसे मिले, बहुत सारे.
तो ये सबकी नीड्स हैं और सबका रोल है इसमें. तो कलेक्टिवली देश अपने आप को कैसे बढ़ाएगा, इन विच एवरीबडी हैज़ टू कोऑपरेट. तो लोग उस टाइम कह रहे थे कि प्लीज़ ये प्लानिंग कमीशन को अबॉलिश कर दिए और एक इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कमीशन बनाइए. तो इंडिया में सालों से वी नो वी गॉट वेरी गुड इकोनॉमिक्स एंड गुड सॉल्यूशंस, तो हमारा फायदा नहीं हो रहा है।
Right.
The system is like that.
Yes.
There's a change that's needed indeed. And so, just like Mr. Arun had said, so the most significant quality of a leader is to nurture his team in order to develop a sustainable mindset through which they can decide on their own how to take some of the decisions that implies with the mutual growth of everyone.
Exactly. So, जैसे आप बोल रहे थे कि enabling about the implementation and everything, and the book is about the shaping the future. Basically, एक मेरा thought है कि about your overall experience, about your writing previous books, understanding economy, education, implementation, planning, everything. So, how this book is different from all other books, and what is something that readers को चाहिए कि जो इस book में मिलेगा, जो पुरानी book में नहीं होगा, they should look forward from this book.
जी, one learns through life.
Right.
आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि this Arun Maira today is different in a very fundamental way.
Right.
I am different in many ways, but I'm not a different human being, a different person. So the same person
Right.
has been learning and growing. So my books over the years are an expression of what I have been learning over the years.
Right.
तो और कामों की बात कर सकते हैं आप। I had a book called Shaping the Future, which I wrote 20 years ago. उसका टाइटल भी यही था, Shaping the Future. तो आप कहेंगे, you're still learning how to shape the future. Yes, I am.
Right.
And I think
Exactly.
the world needs to work together to shape the collective future. अब 20 साल पहले इतनी consciousness नहीं थी कि climate change. Of climate change. The climate change can happen only if the whole world collaborates.
Right.
One country cannot solve the climate change problem for everybody. It can solve it for itself and cause more harm to others. जैसे अभी हो रहा है. So this is my evolution has come. But पहले when I wrote it 20 years ago, it was already dancing around the question जो आपने कहा कि आप किसी system के leader हो.
Exactly.
किसी system के leader हो, you have to help that system and its people to shape what they want.
Exactly.
Then I increased my scope of thinking as shaping the future of the whole world. In that, what is the role of a young person? आप कहेंगे, अरे I hope United Nations will shape the world. वो हो नहीं सकता है. हो नहीं रहा है, हो नहीं सकता है. What is my role as a young person? What is it I need to learn? So my whole emphasis has been for many years. Young people, your age, you say, my whole life is in front of you.
Yes.
And you're saying so much uncertainty. What can I do? What should I do? And I say to them, learn to be good learners. We also need to relearn something. Because जो भी हमने किया है, बड़े smart experts हैं, उससे ये बर्बादी हो गई है. So we are going to find it more difficult to learn the new things. So please, do not copy what we have learned and what we are trying to officially teach you. Be open-minded, be curious. So हमने सीखा है, everything isn't wrong.
Exactly.
There's some parts of it which are relevant today, and many parts which are not relevant today. So don't accept everything. Be curious, and the curiosity starts with कि मैं क्या चाहता हूँ, मैं दुनिया के लिए क्या चाहता हूँ. So your vision of a good world, and your understanding that you're a very small part, but nevertheless, like Gandhi ji, you have to do some steps and take those steps in a way that all other people want to come with you. Gandhi ji didn't pay people. मेरे पीछे आओ. Gandhi ji didn't use a stick to say अगर नहीं आओगे तो मारूंगा. उन्होंने because जो भी वो चाह रहे थे, सब लोग कह रहे थे ये हम भी चाहते हैं. इसलिए आप हमको बताइए, हमारे सामने चलिए, आगे चलिए. But we are all going together. So please learn to take the first steps to be a leader by discovering what you care about deeply, not for yourself, but others also care about. नहीं तो आपके पीछे कोई नहीं आने लगा, और अगर आएंगे तो इसीलिए सिर्फ आएंगे कि कितना पैसा दोगे हमको, फिर आपके फॉलोअर बन जाएंगे.
That's mostly the people right now. that we live in. So everyone is fixated on their personal goals rather than the collective good of all among themselves.
वो कहते हैं ना बूंद बूंद से सागर बनता है बेसिकली अगर हर कोई अपने अपने हिसाब से अपना बेस्ट देगा तभी जाके वो कलेक्टिव चीज़ें साथ में आएंगी बट एक आपने अच्छा पॉइंट बोला कि लीडरशिप टेक द प्रोएक्टिवनेस एंड वो अगर वही नहीं होगा तो वो मतलब पॉसिबल ही नहीं होगा आगे
सब लोग हेल्पलेस हो जाते हैं वेटिंग फॉर अ लीडर
हम कोई तो करें फिर हम उसको फॉलो करेंगे कोई तो करें वो वेट में वो मतलब 10-20 साल चले जाते हैं और किसी को पता भी नहीं चलता आई मीन दैट्स अ रियली गुड क्वालिटी अबाउट लीडरशिप सो हाउ do you I mean obviously it is a good quality about leadership so the question related to exactly this but basically how do you teach leaders basically I mean what's the consultation happens like in reality obviously in the book there are like theoretical चीज़ें भी बहुत सारी होती है but reality में हम जब चीज़ें करने जाते हैं तो थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे 10-20-19 हो जाता है तो what is the exactly difference between the
बहुत अच्छी बात है कि रियलिटी में थोड़ा इधर हो जाता है उधर हो जाता है so it is a process of experimenting see I believe this is the right thing to do but take that decision and the movement with humility because in reality it may not be the best thing to do and I must be open to learn open to learn and taking that feedback I have to change my knowledge and also change my belief that I knew or not knew. Be humble all the time about your knowledge and humble all the time about your confidence. तो गांधी जी की बायोग्राफी ऑटोबायोग्राफी उसका टाइटल क्या है?
My experiment.
Journey of life of experiments with truth.
Exactly.
Inner truth and the truth of the world also. So my book has 3 parts to it. The first part is about the system's being.
Exactly.
Please accept that you're a small part of a bigger system and you cannot by yourself change the system unless other parts of the system, other people also want to change the thing. So be humble, see yourself as being a proactive initiator of change but not the maker of the change. The second comes thinking. You have to recognize that many things happen together. ये सिर्फ इकोनॉमी की बात नहीं है सोसाइटी की बात भी है और इन्वायरमेंटल की बात भी है तो इकोनॉमिस्ट बाय देमसेल्फ स्पेशलाइज्ड इकोनॉमिस्ट आर सो कंफ्यूज्ड टुडे आई एम सेइंग environmentalists by themselves cannot make the change happen unless they understand society and how society supports change. They cannot do it. ये सब अलग-अलग जो sciences हैं please don't specialize in any one of them. Specialize in system science. System science क्या है? System science कहती है कि बहुत diverse चीज़ें होती जाती हैं और उनमें connections हैं. How is this connected with that? How is this connected with that? Learn to understand connections and patterns.
Like you said, if we have to clean a dirty pond, we'll have first to enter into it. Then we can start the change. But in order to act on your vision, you'll have to first enter first. You'll have to enter. Yes. I can also relate with one of the things that you just said earlier. So basically, when I started reading, so I had this thing कि मुझे कुछ करना है और फिर जैसे जैसे मैंने actions लिए, so I came here. I didn't know that I would be interviewing some good people right now here. I could never think of it, but as I took steps, I was anxious at first, but meanwhile, I happened to learn a lot. I got comfortable with being the uncomfortable.
Very well said.
So when you do it on a repetitive basis, you get that kind of exposure, and that uncomfortableness becomes comfortable to you. So it's not the comfort zone. Comfort zone doesn't exist for you if you follow this thing. So there's a tagline for myself. I use this. Is be curious, stay hungry. Yes.
See, discomfort zone पे आज लोग सोशल मीडिया पे and since सोशल मीडिया में बहुत चीज़ें हैं we find our own comfort zone कि मैं इनको ही फॉलो करूँगा मैं इनको ही सुनूँगा so in social media actually created more divisions in the world and hard divisions hard means मैं सिर्फ इसी सर्कल से सुनूँगा so we create these echo chambers वो लोग दूसरी echo chambers के लोगों से कुछ सुनते नहीं हैं ना सुनना चाहते हैं So one of my books, आप पूछ रहे थे my books, my book called Listening for Well-being, conversation with people not like us. I tell young people that please be very, very watchful that every day you must look for somebody who you normally would not like to talk to. वो तो दूसरी religion का है, वो दूसरी discipline की class में he is learning history and I'm learning this. उनसे बात नहीं करनी है. Just always every day look for someone who is not like you. Or go and sit with the person and ask, अरे आप कहाँ से हैं? अच्छा आप हिस्ट्री पढ़ रहे हैं?
Yes.
हिस्ट्री पढ़ रहे हैं कि हम हिस्ट्री होती क्या है? I am inquiring into people not like myself, and this is the way with curiosity I am learning about the whole system through other people's perspectives. More diverse people that you make an effort to really deeply listen to, not to convince them that I'm right.
Exactly.
I think your first line is based on that. You must learn to listen to the people not like you.
Not like you.
मतलब first when I जब मैंने पढ़ना शुरू किया, first मैंने lines पढ़ी like I this thought मैंने ऐसे सोचा. Then I realized कि अभी just उसका आपने आंसर दिया कि it's really important कि दूसरे कैसे सोचते हैं, क्या thinking process है, ये सब कुछ जानना मतलब बहुत जरूरी है. Otherwise आप उसी perspective में रहेगा, आपको पता नहीं चलेगा कि actually में दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है.
The fun fact is that because earlier this morning we were discussing on a topic that we are going to ask you some questions, and we had this specifications कि not like me, okay, don't be like me. So we thought that what's the message behind it, what's the context. Then we got to realize कि like you told now, we should learn, we should be curious, because if we don't be curious, then we will not know कि और क्या चीज़ें हैं, what we have to learn. Because we already know what we have to learn, but unless or until you go and try something new, you won't be able. So by that particular sentence, you meant कि हमारे जैसा ना बने, थोड़ा बाहर निकले हैं, explore the world, explore perspectives, learn from them, and then choose what you have to select. So it's a really good advice that you can use it in your personal life, I guess. Right. That's good.
मेजॉरिटी मतलब यही था कि ये जो जानना था. ऑब्वियसली अगर ये अपन कॉन्वर्सेशन करेंगे तो इट विल टेक लाइक ऑलमोस्ट 1 or 2 hours. जस्ट मतलब अभी जस्ट हमारे दिमाग में बहुत सारे थॉट्स आ रहे हैं कि जो पूछने हैं, बट वी एक्चुअली हैव द टाइम लिमिटेशन एज वेल. सो वी विल नॉट talk about this. Probably we'll do some YouTube podcast. I have a YouTube channel as well, where we'll talk like intensively about each and every part in the deep, and so people can understand कि actually में क्या जानना है, actually में क्या सीखना चाहिए सबको. तो वो हम definitely plan करेंगे sooner or later, like within 1 or 2
I'd love to find out about you. अब you ये क्यों कर रहे हैं? आपको इसमें क्या खुशी हो रही है? And are you doing it only because someone wants you to do it? No.
No, not exactly.
Like as you said, we are also exploring कि like career में जैसे आपने कहा कि मतलब गवर्नमेंट कुछ प्लान कर सकती है, इकोनॉमिक्स कुछ बता सकते हैं, या बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज कुछ जॉब्स वगैरह दे सकती है. बट हम हमारी तरफ से ट्राई करना चाहते हैं कि हमारे लिए क्या क्या ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है. अगर हम वो चीज़ें एक्सप्लोर ही नहीं करेंगे तो हमें कभी पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि एग्जैक्टली क्या क्या हम लाइफ में कर सकते हैं. So that was the motto behind all of this. इस पे हम कभी later बात करेंगे.
We love exploring perspectives, what other people think. So it's a good thing.
But just apart from that, we just wanted to have some candid, not informal, not formal question.
Not to make it a boring interview. So that's why more of a conversation, guys. So it's going to be like that for a few minutes. So let's start with the next question, I guess. So my first question is that I am really interested in knowing how you ended up doing a bachelor's in science, especially physics, to working in a planning commission of India. So how did the transition happen? Because a lot of people, a lot of young people right now are so situated that अगर मैंने BCA
science
किया,
या engineering या medical,
if I have pursued 12 and I am doing that, my only option is BTech, Bachelor's in Technology. So they can't get the view of longer picture, because there are few examples in cities, and I personally believe that there are a lot of options. Bachelor's and doing your studies is just an exposure, but most of the people couldn't get out of it. So what do you think? Like, what would you like to say about this thing?
Yeah, I would. You asked me about my personal self. मैंने physics की और कहीं और पहुँच गए, कहीं chemistry में पहुँच गए. ये कैसे हुआ? I was in school in the 1950s. उस टाइम में it was very difficult to get a course in a good college anywhere in India. अभी तो बहुत भी खुल रहे हैं. Even IITs also. And our education system is very very available. So because I did so well in school, everyone said you may get into because you've done so well in amongst the first five in the whole country. Possibility. Apply to St. Stephen's College for Physics. St. Stephen's College in Delhi used to be considered the most difficult college to get into. And in Delhi University, physics was the hardest course to get into. Apply. So lo and behold, will get. So why did I do it was because you can do it.
Okay.
And my parents were very proud and subsequently I also. Because वो पूछते थे अब क्या पढ़ रहे हो? Not amongst the people in college. I said I'm doing physics in St. Stephen's. So I went into then college and then I said I was good at physics. This is not what I really want to do my whole life. I don't want to do this my whole life. I would rather do something else. So this is the 1960 by now, and you know we were new country, independent, and हम लोगों को बताना चाहते थे कि हम देसी भी कर सकते हैं. And so I want to be a leader of the country. The only way for a young person to become in some leadership position in the government was to be IAS or IFS. तो मेरा यही प्लान था कि फिजिक्स करके मैं तो IAS करूँगा. अगर वो नहीं तो सब लोग कह रहे थे वी इन्वेस्टेड सो मच द कंट्री की फिजिक्स बनाना आप ज्वाइन द to the fundamental research of Harvard atomic research center guaranteed. They were also hiring scientists and stuff. I didn't want to do that, but I want to be a leader with people, see to IS and ICS and so on. So I was too young to sit for the exam, for the civil service exam in a finished college. You see, it's sound. The principal of the college said, hey, you've got a year. If some people invite you for an interview, like Papa is inviting you for an interview, अच्छा काम करते हैं. If they offer you a job, you should take it after administrative services. So I said, I don't want to work at private company. वो तो पैसा ही बनाते हैं. I want to do something for the country. They said, what are you doing now? You take your books to read for your exam on the train, or give me a first class ticket. और जाके देखो, you know, be curious. ये है कौन? So I went to the interview and in 3 days and I began to learn that ये टाटा अच्छे लोग हैं. और ये भी देश बना रहे हैं, ये इंडस्ट्री बना रहे हैं. तो उन्होंने मुझे offers area. Okay. I said, this is how also I can serve the country. But I always wanted to serve in the government. So who I went to industry, became a consultant to industry, went abroad, became a consultant to foreign countries, companies, and came back. And अचानक मैं 65 and I said अब टाइम हो गया रिटायर करने के लिए. BCE वगैरह भी छोड़ दिया, रिटायर हो गया. उसी दिन so happened वो 2009 में UPA गवर्नमेंट वापस आई, मनमोहन सिंह जी उन्होंने नया प्लानिंग कमीशन बनाना था, बनाया. और लोग यही सोच रहे थे कि इस प्लानिंग कमीशन में हमको डिफरेंट लोग अलग बनाने चाहिए, they can think out of the box. So somehow he had read my previous book called Transforming Systems, which he proposed probably some years before that, Transforming Capitalism and so on. So I got invited. I told him, I said, sir, मैं इकोनॉमिस्ट नहीं हूँ, मैं तो गवर्नमेंट में कभी काम नहीं करने की इच्छा थी पर नहीं हुआ. इसीलिए आपको इन्वाइट किया है. अब आप गवर्नमेंट में और वेरी हाई लेवल मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट रहे वगैरह गाड़ी में ठंडे के साथ इतने सालों के बाद रिटायर का टाइम नहीं है, अभी काम करने का टाइम आ गया, देश के लिए काम करने का. दैट इज हाउ माई जर्नी टुक. इट्स नॉट एक्सीडेंट.
It's because of that, because you would love to, you know, like you said before, कि मुझे औरों के पर्सपेक्टिव से जानना अच्छा लगता है. And you said कि I was always curious. So to be like to conclude this question, can I say this? If you are curious, like be always curious for a lot of things, and get into something, explore it, and then you can decide कि आपको उसमें रहना है या नहीं रहना. Right? So that you can carry on to the career.
आपने ये पूछा था कि आजकल यंग लोग सब टेक्नोलॉजी जाना चाहते हैं. मैं कहने लगा ये STEM एजुकेशन, साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी and I'm going to look at engineering and maths. I'm saying science, technology, economics, and management.
Yeah.
This is what young people want. Not really science. They want technology. They want economics,
Yes.
and they want management. For what salaries अच्छी हो गया. The management school, okay, got it.
Right.
I say all these subjects you are learning because you want to be earning a lot or respected a lot. Huh? And the way these subjects are being taught, I'm going to say this about technology and economics, is the utility. कि technology के साथ हम ये बदल सकते हैं. Economics दुनिया को बदल देगी. So it's about a power rather than without knowledge. Because technology by itself cannot understand the whole world. ये तो artificial intelligence की अभी development है. How can you understand the world? Economics also cannot, because it's a narrow subject, understand the world. और management school में यही सिखाया जाता है. Doesn't matter what it is और क्या करना है, efficiently कर दो. So people from management schools will work in any industry. They will work as strategists in the army. जो भी है, efficiently करके देंगे. You have to say what is the purpose of your life and what is the purpose of this institution जिनको आप इतना talent अपना दे रहे हैं.
Yes, yes. Actually. अभी तो I cannot tell you कि मेरे पास कितने सारे questions हैं पूछने के लिए, but मैं confused हो रहा है कि कौन से pick up.
Planned on only 4 to 5 questions, but now
जब
we
we
have
started the conversation, तो ऐसे बहुत सारे हैं कि जो पूछने. But I will not keep it like a lengthy. I just wanted to understand, apart from reading, apart from consultant, what you do in the life, what is your favorite things to do, what do you explore, what's your other side of, apart from this, what we see on the Wikipedia, what we see on the internet. So what's your other side that people should know about?
Yes, see, we are here at the book fair,
Right.
So it's about books. A book is not a tweet or a post.
Right.
It's a substantial 300 pages with one person and so forth. I find that learning is what I'm most curious about.
Okay.
And I want to learn about things in depth. So if I want to learn about another person's point of view,
Right.
I can't just ask that person to explain the point of view in a tweet or something.
Right.
I have to be patient to let that person explain themselves. Now, when someone writes a book, someone has taken a long time to find their own thoughts and put it down. So I have to be patient with the author of the book, then I really understand a new subject and from a new perspective. I'm finding that reading books is really opening up my mind to many things and in depth.
I agree.
So I do read about 3-4 books every month. And they're serious books, they're not novels. Novels are easier to read,
Exactly.
one or two in between. And I read them all. Modern technology is very helpful. I read them all, download them from Amazon, then read them on my Kindle.
Right.
And I find that I can carry 100 books and more.
Easily.
And I make my notes. And those also my Kindle enables me to go back to my notes.
Right.
It's like being back in college, like one of the notes that came and you go back to your notes. I'm back in the university, in a beautiful university, which has been enabled by technology. We said the bad things about social media. I would say that technology is enabling people to learn by reading much better. तो ये हमारी जो नई किताब है ना, ये Notion Press. This Notion Press is a pure digital publisher,
Right.
isn't it?
Yes.
Pure digital. You can get a hard copy if you want finally. You can also download it. In fact, most books nowadays are sold to Amazon, and if people can afford to have readers, which more and more people have, you can read them digitally.
Right.
Yes.
It is saving the planet.
Exactly.
But I like to carry some distance in it. And this is a thin, small book.
Exactly.
So it's not big and
Big,
impressive.
like 1,000
But it's got the same content as a big book. So we're saving all that packaging.
Right.
And when it's digital, there is no packaging. It's cool.
Exactly.
So I'm reading a lot electronically. Yes, I look into journals. I read our Indian papers, the good ones, and I read the foreign papers, the good ones.
Right.
And sometimes some bloggers I begin to follow. Let me see what you people are like.
Yes, definitely.
So
That's actually good. I mean, we are also like a reader. That's why we are. I mean, I believe JLF is something we always look forward to. I mean, every year, like us, like we are a content, not only content creator, but as a reader, we always look forward कि हर साल आना ही है. हर साल यहाँ पे कुछ ना कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता है, नए ऑथर्स को मिलने मिलता है, कुछ नए पर्सपेक्टिव मिलता है. तो हर बार डेफिनेटली आ रहा है. But as you said, you read like almost 4 or 5 books every month. Can you recommend 1 or 3 books like which that young minds should focus or read? So we will also have the idea कि अच्छा ये हमारे wish list में
Question of
होना
the
चाहिए.
century is here itself.
I think I'll be a little cautious in terms of recommending 4 or 5 instantly. But I do get asked this question every time, like it's on the new year and so on. So then I do it, this time I haven't put it out anywhere.
Yeah.
So maybe in response to what you said, I'll send to you after some reflection the 10 books I would recommend to young
That's a
persons to
perfect-
read at this time in the history of humanity.
Exactly.
What I have written and why I recommend in 2 sentences.
Cool. That works.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can have a YouTube dedicated video, 10 books recommended by the author and why you should read that. We can have the complete snippet. We can actually do that.
I love to do that because it helps me again to think. I love when people ask me a question that requires me to think.
Exactly.
But then my thinking I clarify for myself. मैंने सीखा क्या था इसका फायदा है.
Cool. Definitely, we'll do that.
Exactly. So I guess we should conclude, and the set of questions are not going to be much more. So the last question is this: that there is my point of view, there is his point of view, and there is reader's point of view. So from your point of view, what message you want to deliver from shaping the future? In your own words, like I said.
System means there are many different things in the system, and in a social system or political system, there are many people with different needs and sense of friendliness or animosity. Yeah, there's a complexity in the system. So if the system has to help itself, to shape itself, many points of view must be heard by everybody.
Right.
It's not just a one-on-one conversation. You have to open up and say, "Inki bhi सुनिए, सब सुनिए, उनकी भी." So we have got a practice here which is not described in this book but in the previous book, which is Listening for Well-being. In my earlier book than that called Discordant Democrats, 5 Steps to Consensus. मैं कहता हूँ सबसे पहले ये सोचते ही जाओ जिंदगी में कि मैं क्या दुनिया का भला करना चाहता हूँ और फिर कर सकता हूँ comes afterwards. I learn how करना चाहता हूँ is my aspiration. Okay? Then क्या कर सकता हूँ depends on firstly being very clear कि दुनिया में हो क्या रहा है. That is why I must listen to people. So the first step is yourself. The second step is listening to other people. वो क्या चाहते हैं and then their perspectives of ये हो रहा है क्यों हो रहा है and they see it very differently. But listen to different perspectives. Huh? So this is the steps forward. Make it your lifelong practice.
Yes.
In any setting, it will. You must learn to have a one-on-one because it teaches you how to listen. Yeah, because when you are listening to just you, and I think you and I might say, but if you say something which I don't agree with, and says, "Can I take galt hai?" First I have to ask myself, why do I think it is wrong? And with that, I begin to understand myself. How did I come to this belief कि सिर्फ यही बात ठीक है? कि मेरी क्या history है इसमें? उसका क्या? I mean, what trouble is my history causing me that I'm not open anymore?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
So it's about learning from others' perspective, and questioning yourself can do a lot of good to you. And for better understanding of yourself, you should ask yourself why do you feel like that. So that's how you should conclude, right?
Yes, definitely. So if you're looking forward, to read something on the listening, so make sure you buy this book, Shaping the Future. I will put the link in the description as well as on the link in the bio. So make sure go buy it. Tag me, Atul, and Mr. Arun. Whenever you are putting a review or whenever you are doing something around the book, make sure you tag all of us. So we will repost all of that content, and that will be really good. Also, as we are talking about the listening, so make sure as we come up with our next podcast that you should listen to understand what exactly we are talking about. Thank you so much.
And as well as I'd like to say a few things about the book. So Shaping the Future is a must read for every young as well as elderly. So if you are into nation building and have some sense that you have to do something about the world apart from yourself, so Shaping the Future by Arun Maira is a must read for you. So do give it a try, and if you have any questions, share them in the comments. We will be happy to answer them all. So with that, we will take a leave from you.